The ARMM may be the country's poorest region despite being rich in natural resources. Other than problems in security, tax collection in the area has been lagging behind. Bim Santos takes a look at the region's current economic situation and where it may be headed once the BOL hurdles the plebiscite.
For so long, Mindanao has been called as the land of promise. And for so long, it has remained largely just that, a promise. A promise that has remained unrealized for the country's second largest island with billions of dollars worth of mineral deposits, but with a region that is the poorest in the Philippines. That region is the autonomous region of Muslim Mindanao, which has for decades been riddled with armed conflict. As of last year, ARMM has the highest poverty incidence, with per capita income in the region 6 times less than the national average. The people of ARMM is also the most susceptible to price shocks due to the peace and order situation and its geography. Last December, the region continued to have the highest inflation rate at 7.5%, more than double the rate in the Cordilleras. With the Bangsamoro Organic Law promising greater autonomy and more revenues, the National Economic Development Authority sees an opportunity for both the public and private sector in the region.
Given that the region will experience a sort of a rebirth, no, and we expect that peace, security, and order will improve, then it's an opportune time.
NEDA sees agriculture driving economic growth. The sector comprises over half of the region's economy.
We see the agriculture sector as the driver of economic growth in the region going forward, no? Kasi 56% plus yung share of agriculture and fishery sector in the GRDP, gross regional domestic product of the region. So we see a lot of potential in crop production.
In terms of infrastructure build-out, NEDA has also mapped out the most number of projects in the country in ARMM. Under the Public Investment Program 2017 to 2022, a total of 22.15 billion pesos worth of projects are lined up for 2019 and 40.85 billion pesos for 2017 to 2022. Once the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region and Muslim Mindanao is finalized, the Bangsamoro Economic and Development Council will be constituted. The council will take charge of economic planning and development. The council will definitely have their work cut out for them. Though there will be additional revenues by way of a block grant from the national government, increased share in taxes, and more taxing powers, one big issue will need to be addressed.
The big problem as well in the Bangsamoro is a very poor collection record for internal revenues. The question is here really is the challenge for the Bangsamoro Transition Authority is to immediately collect local revenues.
Another factor that will affect efforts to improve revenue collection will be the upcoming 2022 elections. With residents used to the slack-off in tax collections, any political leader who will strive to impose taxation may have to spend considerable political capital to secure his victory. Real estate taxes, licensing fees, and corporate tax returns may just be a few of the areas the Bangsamoro region will need to work on.
All of these require them transforming a lot of informal enterprises into formal enterprises. Actually, the big challenge is to convince firms that actually exist in the shadow sector to formalize themselves. Unless they're able to do that, those firms will continue to not pay taxes.
With a host of challenges the Bangsamoro needs to surmount, some experts are doubting if the measure is indeed what Mindanao needs.
I don't think there is such a thing as a silver bullet here in the case of the conflicts in Mindanao. Maybe it does not benefit all of the Muslim groups. So among themselves, as we have seen, there's been rivalry. And we can't satisfy everybody, definitely. Whether it will solve the big problems in Mindanao, turning the promise into reality, it remains a big question mark.
Challenges notwithstanding, the ARMM has been showing signs of progress recently. In 2017, the region's economic growth shot up to 6.7% from 0% the prior year, beating the national average and ranking 6th among regions. One year may not a growth trend make, but for a region starved of opportunities, it may still be an opportunity to build on a promise nonetheless. Bim Santos, We Are One News.